What's going on, people? We are back with episode 7 of the Cinema Kings. It has been a minute. We got a lot to catch up on. We got the Oscar recap, our Mickey 17 review. We got to talk about the first 2 episodes of Daredevil and DC projects concerned, and we got the Russo brothers, the face of Netflix directors, talking some Doomsday stuff. Got a lot to say about that, but how you boys doing today?
Good.
It's
Lot
it's
of-
Monday.
lot of-
As good as I can be, I guess.
Monday.
Monday.
Definitely a lot of stuff to talk about, catch up on. Been busy. Been a busy month for movies and TV.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I guess we start off with the Oscars, our biggest topic, arguably. What did you boys think?
Like
Well,
of the show overall, or like
Just overall, we'll go overall.
I thought it was a good show. Like overall, like I think Conan was a pretty good host. I think he was pretty funny. I think the bits were good. Like the bits they gave him, like with the Dune sandworm, were pretty funny. It was pretty random, but it was pretty funny. I think that they kind of dropped the ball a little bit with the they left out some people with the in memoriam that kind of was kind of weird. Like
and the music choice.
yeah, the music for it was not serious. Like I get that song is serious, but it's been ruined by meme culture to where like I couldn't take it serious anymore because of the song. But yeah, they missed like Tony Todd and they missed someone else too who passed recently.
The 17 again.
Yes, they missed those two, and I think they missed someone else too. I can't remember the other person.
I think someone.
Yeah, I think it was a really good show overall. A lot of the speeches were good. Adrian Brody's was really long, but it was good.
He told them, "Hold on, I'm wrapping up." Like,
And he did
Kieran
it.
Culkin had a really funny one.
shout out Kieran
I think the
Culkin.
other ones were funny. Yeah, it was good speeches. As for the picks themselves, we can talk about that, but we got a lot. I think we all got a lot to say about that. But I think the big picks, like the big ones, were out of the choices we had. I think they were pretty good. I didn't expect Nora to win, but I'm glad that it did. Yeah, Mikey Madison. That was probably the most contentious thing that happened. And I'm not mad that she won it all. I mean, she was fantastic. You could definitely argue she had the best performance of the year. So,
yep.
But yeah, good show. Probably one of the better Oscars in a minute. It can be hit or miss with the Oscars sometimes, but yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think the show flowed pretty smoothly. I think Conan's a really good host. He had a lot of funny jokes. And he did like what a lot of hosts don't, or what a lot of hosts do too much, is just like make fun of movies and like how nobody watches the movies. Like there's always like a joke about that. But he did a good job of kind of honoring the movies without like picking on them, but like in a funny way. So yeah, I think Conan did a good job. Think most of the winners pretty decent. Amelia Perez was held down as much as it could, I guess, which is a job, which is a win, for movies.
Always out on it said in the post, the presser. I'll get in that later, but I didn't like what she said. That response.
Yeah. Shout out Kieran Culkin. We knew that was happening, but it was awesome seeing him get a win. Probably the best speech of the night. Shout out Sean Baker, who was on stage 4 times.
Yeah.
I was not expecting an Honora sweep, but I am more than happy that happened because it is one of the best, if not the best, films of the year. I'm so happy. Mikey Madison won. I didn't think she was going to, but I'm very happy she did. She was my vote, and I'm glad Honora won Best Picture. It's quite the different Best Picture win, and it's a huge deal for independent movies.
Yeah.
Which is really starting to hit the ground running now, and it has for the past few years. But this is an even bigger step. which is awesome to see. Who else? So Adrian Brody, well deserving. His speech was really long. They said it was the longest speech in Oscar history.
1 second. Yeah.
So yeah, that happened. What else? Yeah, Dune won a few awards, which is good. Which I'm happy for. Wish it got more, but we'll take what we can get. And yeah, I thought it was pretty solid.
Yeah. I thought it was a really good flowing paced Oscar show. Because usually, like even Conan joked about it, like it won't take too long. Like a lot of in the past Oscars, they drag it out. They take a long time to get through the night. And I thought it was really good flowing and stuff. Shout out Honora. I'm so happy, incredibly happy that this film won. And basically, you can call it a sweep if you will. Sweep at the Oscars. Shout out Mikey Madison. I woke up that day thinking that she was gonna win and stuck with it. So happy. But Sean Baker, I really, really love this speech about preserving and keeping theaters. And I think it's really important that we keep theaters. Hope Tets Randos heard that speech because we need theaters. There's nothing like watching a movie at the theater. I'm sorry, you can't get that experience at home. Like you just can't. It's anybody that says otherwise is speaking bullshit. And I just really love like these creators like Tom Cruise and Sean Baker, and I'm sure there's others that are fighting for theaters to like stay alive because the only thing that's carrying theaters is pretty much like the odd franchise or like Marvel, DC, Star Wars, anything like that. Like it's keeping theaters alive. And when the fact that we have like indie movies, kind of like, you know, they're starting to make money in theaters, like make a profit, because I'm pretty sure Nora made a profit in theaters. And we have stuff like A24 and Neon that are really like putting out some good products and are getting like traction and more talked about on like the internet or wherever. Like just your average Joe talking about an indie movie, you don't really hear about stuff like that. But I really, really love this speech. I think that was the biggest takeaway for me was his speech because I love the fight to keep theaters alive. I am not a big fan of streaming services. I despise them. Yes, I do use them. Yes, there are some stuff that I got like, you know, watch like Invincible or The Boys or whatever. But when you got like Netflix, it just seems like some of these streamers are trying to take away like and bury theaters. And I kind of like his speech of trying to combat that. But I wish Dune won more awards. Don't care about the best score because the best score wasn't even nominated. So yeah, but I think the biggest takeaway was seeing Honora win. I'm really happy for Mikey Madison. She deserves it. She's gonna have a crazy career. I think the day after there was like a report that said like a bunch of people are like meeting with her and want her for like the next role, and that's gonna happen when you win an Oscar. But it's so deserving for her. She's gonna have a crazy career and like winning at a young age. Like, you know, usually you don't win an Oscar until like there was like a big age argument with like, you know, her and Demi Moore. They might give it to Demi because well she'll win eventually. But I don't know. The Oscars, they kind of changed their tune on that a bit. You know, I think you'll see less DiCaprio robbery. I mean, I say that, but you never know. But
Chalamet, he's next DiCaprio.
Yeah. People, I mean, with that suit, you don't deserve to walk the stage. I'm kidding.
It was a weird suit.
It was. But, you know.
What to do from Curious George.
Yeah. Chalamet will win one eventually. I think people just he'll probably end up being nominated like next year for Marty Supreme. So, like, who knows? But I don't know. I thought it was a really good Oscar ceremony. I thought it was really good. Minus Timothy Chalamet's dress style. I'm sorry. The minute the camera would like, he stood out like a sore thumb. The minute a camera would like, the camera shot where it was like a person walking on stage, and you would just see someone wearing that bright yellow, fucking like Timothy.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell, man?
It was definitely a more interesting award season as a whole because like none of them were like the same picks really. Like
It
Demi
was like
Moore.
Oppenheimer.
Yeah, it wasn't like last year where Oppenheimer and all the cast swept everything and there's no surprises. This like Demi Moore was in the lead to win Best Actress, and I thought she was. Anora wasn't. I don't think Anora won any like Best Picture for any other award, which is usually never the case for the Best Picture winner. But
See,
I think like Best Actor could have gone really like.
Wait, I think we got to address the elephant in the room with Anora, because I've seen this argument like on Twitter and other film Twitter where people say that Anora only won because of the controversy with
that's bullshit.
Amelia Perez is the big one, and then the Brutalist, the AI stuff as well. Like the Brutalist kind of got its momentum messed up by the AI stuff, which I don't. As someone who's like, I've seen both. If you made me pick between two, I think Anora is a little. I don't think there's much of a difference, but I think Anora is a little better. But I mean, are there politics involved in like the Academy's awards? Yes, obviously. Like I'm not gonna pretend like there isn't like politics involved. Like they pick certain things for a reason and they don't pick others. Like it's facts. It's happened before. But I don't think that's fair to Sean Baker and Mikey Madison and Euroboros, like the entire cast of that movie to like and the crew to say the only reason that they won is because these other films had like these controversies that happened. I mean, the Brutalist stuff I think is a little overblown, and that's coming from someone who hates AI. Like I loathe AI. I don't think it has no place in the film industry, but I think it was overblown. Like if you listen to how they used it, they were kind of put in a no-win situation. Like they had to get the film out with a limited budget, a limited amount of time. It's like, I'm not condoning it, but I understand. And it wasn't used heavily. But I think people do this with every Oscar winner where they, after it wins, suddenly the movie's not good anymore. Suddenly it's overrated. Suddenly it shouldn't have won. I mean, people would have done this no matter what won. The Brutalist won, they would have done it. If Conclave won, they would have done the same thing. I mean, if Amelia Perez won, they would have deserved it. So I don't care, but would have deserved all of it. But I don't know.
I mean, like the Anora won Best Editing, Best Director, Best
Screenplay too, didn't it? Yeah.
Best Screenplay, Best Actress. If you win all of those and not Best Picture, that just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Because you're awarding everything about the movie, but not the movie as a whole. So like, I don't think the controversies played into it. I think if the Academy was going to give Anora all those awards leading up to Best Picture, then it was going to win Best Picture.
Yeah, because even when we were watching it, we said like when they were winning all the awards, we're like, "Yo, they can win Best Picture. Like they could, Anora can win." Because we didn't. I don't think any of us had. Did any of us have Anora winning Best Picture? I don't think so.
I think RJ did.
I don't remember.
I said it was a possibility, but I had Brutalist winning.
I think I said the. We'll go back after, but I think I did say the Brutalist, but because it was picking up more steam. But I feel like Anora was more talked about. It was being more like talked about. Yeah, it kind of lost momentum a little bit.
Yeah,
it came out, but Mikey Madison was always like the freaking key to keep it being talked about. Like her performance makes the movie like go around and stuff. That movie does not work without her. But I think I had the Brutalist, but I think the one that I was back and forth on was the Mikey Madison Demi Moore, but I think I picked Mikey. But I feel like the controversy with like it's kind of like hating on like you said, like they do this with every Best Picture winner. Yeah, you can make a case that the AI stuff did hurt the Brutalist, but I do agree with what you said there. It's like it doesn't like it's not fair to like Sean Baker and his team. Like the Anora was it was definitely, it was up there. Like, whether you could take out the AI stuff, like let's say the AI stuff doesn't impact the Brutalist's chances of winning. I still think Anora wins because, like Noah said, like you don't win best like director, best actress, like screen, like you don't win those awards and like not come out with best picture. Like it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and now like people are switching up on. Well, I don't know if that people were ever on board, but Zoe Saldana's win, which really she isn't a supporting actress in the movie. I mean, if you get technical with it, she has more screen time than the lead. So I don't know. I like that Zoe Saldana won because she's had such an impact on movies in Hollywood for years. But I hate that it seems like the only reason she won. You know, I mean, it wasn't like that stacked of a category this year.
I'd argue that depending on how you define supporting actress, I'd argue the best supporting actress performance this year was not even nominated.
Rebecca Ferguson.
You could argue this Rebecca Ferguson. You could argue Lily Rose Depp. If you consider Lily Rose Depp a supporting actress, Nosferatu, which you could argue she's the main actress, but if you consider her supporting actress, then she should be nominated, in my opinion. Like, I don't know. That was a weird category this year, where it felt kind of like it was a foregone conclusion that Zoe was always going to win. Not to take away from any other performances, but like I don't think that they were like memorable enough to like combat Zoe's like. Cause it seemed like everyone had it in their head that Zoe was gonna win, which is fair because she's like the only watchable thing in the movie. Like she's the only thing that's semi-watchable. But I don't know. I feel like there were better options, and then her comments at that question didn't help either with the narrative that people are having. That was a stupid thing to say. But she got asked the question, so I don't know.
I mean, honestly, like I'm no Wicked fan, really, but I honestly think Ariana Grande isn't an Oscar-worthy performance, but compared to the other ones in the category, I would have given it to her because that was the performance I took away most from that movie. Was she was really good. Not that I think it's Oscar-worthy, but I would have put her above Zoe Saldana, which before this award season was really supposed to be like a big, rivalry between these two. Who was going to win?
It just never, like, people just kind of ran with Zoe. That was kind of just it was like, okay, yes.
Me personally, okay, I'm happy for Zoe, like her as a person winning, because like she's been an underrated actress and she's had a very like overlooked career. But I don't think that her performance is Oscar winning. Like I think that category as a whole this year was very like it doesn't compare to last year, obviously, but it just wasn't that good. Like Ariana Grande, I don't really see that as an Oscar winning thing. But that category was just very dry this year, in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
I'm trying to think of some other categories that were. Oh, so this is kind of a problem. I didn't have as much of a problem about it when I saw it when The Brutalist won cinematography. I didn't have a problem with it because The Brutalist has great cinematography. But the more I think about it, like the more I stew on it, I just kind of like Nosferatu should have won best cinematography. I'm sorry, like out of the ones that were nominated,
bro.
That movie, literally, Nosferatu has like 7 or 8 shots, if not more than that are literally paintings. Like you literally hang that on your wall and like, yeah, this is an amazing painting. Like it literally looks like a painting. And like the gothic atmosphere built, like everything about it. It's one of the best looking movies I've ever seen. And not to say The Brutalist has bad cinematography because it has amazing cinematography, but I get on my horror fan soapbox for a minute. Listen, I'm happy that Substance won because honestly, I didn't think it was going to get any. Yeah. But it really just feels like the Academy this year were like, yeah, we're just going to throw these 2 horror movies in here for a couple categories and be like, yeah, we're not gonna give them much of anything. They gave Substance hair and makeup because they kind of had to. Like there was no what they did with the hair and makeup in that movie is insane. Like they had to do that, or there would have been a major outcry. It just feels like this is a historical thing. The Shining didn't get nominated for anything in the 80s, which is a crime against humanity. There's been so many great horror movies over the years that just don't get any love from the Academy, and it's like
That's why I said I know.
Psycho didn't win. There's no. I don't understand what it is about the horror genre. Like superheroes, I get it. I get why they don't. I get the Academy doesn't like them because there are some superhero movies that are. It's not the same. It's not what they're looking for in a movie. I get it.
They better watch
horror.
Batman.
Horror. Some of the best scripts I've ever read are horror scripts. Some of the best movies I've ever seen are horror movies, like Alien, The Shining,
Get Out.
Hell, you could make an argument that the first Scream screenplay is an all-time screenplay. Like it's like I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot of elitism, which we've all known. There's a lot of elitism that goes on with the Academy and like that part of like the film community, which is why people like Clarence Macklin people like Clarence Macklin don't get supporting actor nominations when they should. So
what did I say to y'all when right before Best Picture was about to be announced? I said the Academy still has a bias towards horror movies, and The Substance is not going to win. It's going to be Anora. And again, Anora's great. I'm glad he won Best Picture.
On that point, just for a second, and you guys can bounce off this because you've seen it, but they didn't even nominate Margaret Qualley Best Supporting Actor.
No, they didn't. And that she should. I would take her over Zoe Saldana.
I think for the fans, she would have been the front runner.
Margaret Qualley should have got nominated, and she should have fucking won. That's just her facts.
Yeah. I would have taken Margaret Qualley, Rebecca Ferguson, Zendaya in Dune. Even if you don't want to do you want to do her in Challengers, do Dune for supporting actress. Like
something.
You could do that.
Somebody in Dune should have got nominated for like in the major, like
for something. Like Rebecca Ferguson is phenomenal in that movie. Like there's just very.
I mean, there's no room for supporting actor, but Austin Butler.
Yeah, Austin Butler.
He's terrific in that movie.
Lily Rose Depp for Nosferatu. Like
I think you're better than Timothy in that movie.
Yeah, Austin Butler stole the show.
Yeah,
Dune was also kind of treated a little weirdly at this.
You know what it was? We should have saw the first signs when they disqualified Hans from getting in from composer. We should have saw that as a sign, like okay, something's up here because it did not. Right when the nominations came out, we're like, what the hell?
I don't know what it is about Dune. Is Dune too like? Is it too much of an action movie for the Academy? Is it too like?
I mean, it might be because the first
for them because people were talking. Because Dune is kind of a big thing this year. Like people actually saw it and made a decent amount of money. Like are they like
the first Dune won way more Oscars, and I think Dune Part 2 is
a way better movie.
Better.
I like Dune. I like Dune.
Like,
Dune 2 is a much better movie to me.
Like, and on that point, like about like horror movies and comic book films, which I get it for comic book films. Like, I get it for some of them. Like, yeah, Endgame ain't gonna get nominated. No Way Home was not gonna get nominated. But like, comic book films like Logan and the Batman, like those types of films should be nominated. And like with horror, they gotta stop. They have to get off their high horse and stop being so elitist towards.
Let's do a thought exercise. What would it take for a horror movie to win Best Picture in the year of our Lord 2026?
I don't know.
A really shit year for
either a terrible year for movies, or that movie has to be the best movie of all time. Like it has to be, it has to be the greatest film of all time for that thing to win.
They have to have Leo. They have to have Leo lead the movie, and he has to fight a ghost. There you go.
Scorsese directs.
He has to fight Michael Myers, and Scorsese directs. Boom! There you go. Oscar-winning movie.
Yeah.
No, it's something that's always pissed me off. And this year, people are going to be like, "Oh, but horror got 2 nominations. It never happens." I'm like, "Yeah, that's the point. Like, it's a big deal that there's 2 nominations in all the categories. There's 2 nominations." 2 movies nominated.
That's what they think is enough. Like they think the nominations are enough, and they're off the hook.
Here you go.
Yeah, Substance won hair and makeup. Well, no shit. That's the whole point of the movie. Like I don't know, man.
I mean, some of like the voters.
Oh, Alien won one, didn't it? Alien won.
It did. I think it won for best visuals.
Did it win?
No, or the Dune won that. Was it up against Dune?
No.
Dune won.
I think Dune
Alien
won.
was nominated.
It won something,
Yeah.
though, from what I remember.
3 nominations, 1 win. There we go.
I think Dune won 2 things, right?
I think it won that. It won best sound too. Yeah.
Yeah. Deserving.
Well, yeah.
I
But,
think Alien. Yeah, it was.
Alien didn't win.
Yeah, it didn't win anything. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like for the technical categories like production design, makeup, sound. They're not saying that the ones nominated aren't deserving, but I feel like the Oscars just put the best picture nominees in there, and it's very little. Like a bad movie with great production design will never be in production design.
The last
You know what I mean?
time
Like
that happening, I think Rise of Skywalker got nominated for best sound. That's like the last time I remember a bad movie. Because the sound was on point, but the movie was trash. But the sound is amazing. Like that, the last time I remember a bad movie. It's like they don't want to give bad movies anything, which I get it.
Yeah, it's like the voters I think the voters are really a problem because they've said some crazy shit before. Like they didn't even watch Dune Part 2.
Yeah.
Hold on.
They said they didn't vote for. They said they didn't vote for Ray Fiennes because he already won an Oscar or something.
Yeah, exactly. There's like I feel bad for them.
Brody one day.
Yeah, right.
I actually know what's crazy. If next year, I'm going to jump to next year's Oscars, but I feel like next year's Best Actor nominees are going to be crazy. I already made a prediction. I was talking to one of my friends about it today. I think the Safdie brothers are going to go head to head because they have 2 movies coming out this year.
They do, yeah.
I think
that'd be funny.
I hope the movie is good. First, I hope these movies are great, but I think Pattinson will get in for the drama. I think he'll get in. I think Timmy will get in for Marty Supreme. And depending on The Rock, and I say The Rock because which Dwayne we're going to get? Are we going to get action Dwayne acting? Or are we going to get like Gridiron Gang Dwayne? If he's like, if Dwayne's really good in that movie, like, and they put him in, that would be an interesting like Oscar like nomination.
The Rock winning Best Actor. That would be the craziest shit. That would be the most insane. They would never give it to him. I don't think they would never give it to him. But
I think Timmy, if he gets in for Marty Supreme, I think he's gonna get robbed. I think he's gonna lose again.
That's the thing about like you never know like what movies are gonna get nominated until like well into the year because you don't even know.
A lot of them are indie movies that get no buzz until you follow.
Because Pattinson, he's got 2 movies coming out after Mickey 70. He's got one with Jennifer Lawrence, and he's got the drama coming out.
You know what's crazy that I heard? There's this A24 film coming out this year. I don't remember what it's called, and it's getting great reviews at like the film festivals, and Conan O'Brien is in it, and he plays a serious role. What? And I'm not saying like a totally serious role. And I don't. And nobody's saying like if the Oscar buzz or anything, but that's just crazy to think about. Like he's playing a totally serious supporting role.
You know what else would be weird?
Can you imagine if he gets nominated?
Imagine the Weeknd movie gets nominated. The Weeknd's imagine that movie gets nominated.
No, but I was already like thinking. I was talking to one of my buddies, and we were like, "I think next year's going to be crazy. It's a good year for indie films. Like later on in the year, like the drama comes out. I think Marty Supreme comes out on Christmas. So
that's how it always goes. Like the blockbusters take the first half of the year. Like they have blockbusters in like summer especially, and then by like the fall, there's usually one more big blockbuster for like the winter. And then there's the indie movies come out around that time. This is going to happen again. Because every time the indie movie comes out in the first half of the year, it gets buried and no one remembers it.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I think you could see like later on, I think maybe like over time, like indie directors are gonna be like, I don't want to release it in the fall. Like, I don't want to release that shit right now, or like summer.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah, because everyone like no one talks about them because they get buried by like
Yeah.
the next Marvel movie or whatever. Like some other thing happens and people don't remember. And
Do you guys think that kind of hurt Dune
I think it did.
or Challengers in a way?
Definitely challengers.
I heard both. I think because they both came out like they both talked about for like a few weeks, and then people just kind of left it like it was the next thing.
Yeah. Not saying they would have been nominated for more, but the buzz for sure would have been like there would have been way more controversy, especially Challengers, because Challengers was hot when it came out. Like, everyone was talking about that. Everyone was like Zendaya nom, score nom, even supporting actors. If that came out October, November, December, it could have been different. Dune for sure. Like Dune was supposed to be late last year. Like 2023.
I'm gonna tell you, some movies are lucky it didn't happen last. Some movies are lucky that
you would have had Denis and Nolan go at it at the Oscars. Probably.
Yeah. Which I don't think it would have changed anything.
I agree.
Oppenheimer still would have swept, but yeah.
Yeah, but it would have made, if it came out later this year, it would have been way more interesting, way more tight, I think.
Yeah, I agree, RJ. I think like in the future, a lot of like indie directors are kind of gonna they're gonna fight over some of those release dates.
I would,
because listen, especially if you come out at like a dead time for movies. Like if your indie movie comes out in like March, like now, I mean it's gonna make money because there's nothing out, but it's gonna be forgotten about in 2 or 3 months. Like no one's gonna remember that.
Probably not getting nominated. Yeah,
unless it's an amazing movie with like a transcendent performance by someone, like it's not gonna get no one's gonna remember.
You know what movie to keep an eye on later on this year? It's with Dave Franco and Alison Brie.
Oh yeah, I've seen
a horror movie, and it recently just played at a film festival, and people were like raving about it and saying it's like really good and unexpected, like Going Blind. And
Dave Franco is very talented. He directed a really good horror movie.
Very underrated filmmaker. Very underrated. Oh, it's called Together. That's what it's called. Yeah.
Well, it's probably not going to get nominated.
Oh,
he said.
Oh, let's talk about it. No, you want to go first? You want to go first?
Well, we'll set it up. We all watched Mickey 17 this past week. Bong Joon-ho's new movie starring Robert Pattinson. Some of us liked it more than others. I think you should start, RJ, since we started last topic.
So I got to see it last Thursday. Robert Pattinson, one of my favorite working actors right now. You can arguably say he's the best actor at his range is really, really shown in this movie. He is just a phenomenal actor. This is the second intro. I think this is the second ever movie for Bong Joon-ho. Because
it's like his second like big movie. He made like small stuff.
Yeah,
he did a lot of like
made Parasite, and Parasite's really good. But this is based off a book, I believe. I think it's based.
I think so.
No, but I really liked it. I like the second half more than the first half. I think the first half is kind of like slow and it's establishing like it's a lot of narration. It kind of reminded me of Goodfellas in a way, not comparing it to Goodfellas, but I'm just the narration like. But like the narration, like it's a lot and stuff like that. But I think Pattinson pretty much is like the standout. It's not like his best performance of his career or anything like that, but it's a performance that like shows his range as an actor and what he could do with his voice and stuff. Especially like in what's that animated movie that he did like a year or two ago?
Boy in the Hair.
Yeah, like, he was really good in that. And, like, just had an unrecognizable voice, and even in here he does too. But they have some. It's a very different movie because I told this person right here, down here, that it's not for everybody. He seems to think that I don't like it that much, but I thought it was solid. depending on the type of person that you are, there are some, and how you feel about this political figure. There are some like Trump stuff, but
The dude made Parasite. I don't know why we're surprised about that.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. But but I do like I wish they would tackle this more. There's a plot point in the movie about like the clones. That's the one critique I will have, is that the clone stuff, like they wouldn't say like why it was like a bad thing, like they shouldn't do it, and why, because they were like saying like they shouldn't, like Mark Ruffalo's character, might as well call him Trump, but they were saying like you can't clone, like it's bad or something like that. But I do like the theme of like self-discovery in this movie between like Pattinson's character. That's pretty much what I think is the driving force and the strong thing with this film. But I want to know Noah's thoughts really badly, because I know Darius, I know you like it.
Should I go or Darius?
Darius, you go first. Let's save Noah for last.
Oh my God. All right. So I went into this. I mean, I knew the premise of it. Like, guy works a dangerous job. It's so dangerous that he dies. So he signs up for this thing where he can die over and over again, and they reprint him out. So that's interesting. Not the most groundbreaking thing. Like, stuff's been done. Like, I'm a big sci-fi fan, so stuff I've read, seen stuff like that before. But like, when I sat down to watch it and like everything's unfolding, like the angle they take with it, I think is really unique. Like they give a lot of background to like how people feel about this technology, and like why people are against it, why people are for it, all that stuff. And I think like what this movie has to say about like how people are exploited by their bosses, how like these companies don't care about their workers' safety at all, how like, yeah, you literally won't be cloned and replaced if you get injured on the job or anything like that, but like they'll just get rid of you and they'll hire someone else just like you, who's in the same situation as you, and there you go. Like, not no sweat off their back. Like that's very topical, I think. I agree. Robert Pattinson is one of my favorite actors working now. He's been great in so many things over the years. It's a shame that it took Batman to prove to people he can act, when he's been acting great in a lot of things.
The Lighthouse, Good Time.
Yeah. But yeah, he was great. And I think this movie is actually really funny. If you don't like, it's a very specific type of humor, but if you don't, it might not work for you. That's fine. But also, like RJ said, if you don't like the political slant of this movie, or you don't like politics in your movies, which I get, but like you picked the wrong filmmaker to go to, because I mean, Bong Joon-ho made Parasite, which is a very political movie, and this is a very political movie too. But it's kind of like, if I had to compare this movie to anything, I'd say it's like Starship Troopers, where it's like it's kind of a parody or like a satire. And this, like in this case, like a satire of America, like with the way Ruffalo's character acts. I mean, it's very clear who he's based on.
Yeah.
Even Toni Collette's character, kind of clear who she's based on.
Yeah.
Like the way they use religious imagery and kind of hide behind that, instead of like, oh yeah, we're gonna, like, God told us we could do this. It's like we know who they're talking about there with that, and I like that. I like that the film wasn't afraid to say it. I thought it was pretty funny, and how it worked. People on the political spectrum are mad about that. You're the ones who say, grow thicker skin. So grow thicker skin. I don't know what to tell you, bro. Like, grow thicker skin. I think the movie's really funny. Like like Robert Pattinson, some of his deliveries and his reaction to things are funny. Some of the way he dies a lot in this movie. Some of the ways he dies are pretty funny. Steve Yeun, I think, is the funniest part of this movie. Like, his character is
He's die.
He's just a dick, and he's one of those guys in real life. I think we've all met those guys who they're really bad people. They just keep falling upwards and getting lucky in life. and no matter what happens to them, they always find a way out of it. They always seem to they get one over on people and they don't really deserve it, and it's really frustrating, but it's kind of funny in this movie with him. But yeah, I like it a lot. I think I like the intro because it kind of sets the stage of Mickey's character journey, but also the world a little bit. I do think that towards the middle, there's a bit of a lull in there, after he gets back to the
it does drag on towards the end. It does drag out.
Yeah. But the third act kind of brings it back. It gets kind of exciting there with what they're doing. And it's pretty ridiculous, what Mark Ruffalo's character tries to do. He crashes out. It's pretty funny. Tony Collette crashes out. That's also pretty funny. So yeah. Overall, I liked it a lot. We'll definitely watch it again when it comes to streaming or whenever that is. Yeah. Not as strong as Parasite though, but it's hard to be as strong as Parasite. That's a hell of a debut, not his real debut, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, Pattinson's the driving force in the movie.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I don't think this would have worked with too many other actors. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Noah, what you think?
All right. At the end of the day, this it's just not for me. I just want to start. It's just
totally
not. I respect and I can appreciate how the film was made. I think it was well made. I think it was edited well. The editing style wasn't for me, and something I constantly noticed. It was directed well, but it's just too weird for me. I can't get attached to the character, the stories, to the style. It's just too weird. It's like Poor Things to me. Well-made movie.
Wow.
It's just no. It's just way.
Why?
And I just can't get attached. I just can't care about it. I think this is better than Poor Things. It's just the style reminded me of it. I think it's also very slow, honestly. I think it starts out slow, but it's intriguing. And then towards the middle, there's just this kind of sudden, overwhelming amount of kind of mind-numbing political satire to me. It kind of in the beginning, we knew what they were trying to refer to, but it was hidden well, and then it kind of just overload to me, and it just took me out completely. At the end, I was honestly waiting for the movie to end. I was just done with it because I knew from the trailer this movie wasn't going to be for me. But I respect the filmmakers. I love Robert Pattinson. I had to see it because maybe it would have changed my mind, but it unfortunately it didn't. I think I don't know. I feel like a lot of people, not saying you guys or most people who like this, just say something is weird and different, and that makes it great. And I'm if it works for you, it works. But I don't know. I think that's just become this mindset for people. This is so different. This is so weird. They tried something. It's amazing. I'm yeah, I respect the risk and the trying something new and doing something different, but that doesn't mean the execution.
What the Robert Pattinson.
That timing was crazy.
One of those all my ass. I respect you and I love
you, bro.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you said hell no, but I'm sorry. I'm sticking to my ground on this shit. All right, it wasn't for me, and that's okay. It's okay. And I feel I was looking at a lot of reviews, and that's why I said this to you, RJ, because when you sent me the way you sent it to me, it was you were trying to like it. That's just how I interpreted it, because that's a great cast, and the filmmaker is great, but this shit it's just. I don't understand. It's just weird. It's just weird, and I don't think it's good weird. I think it's.
Trying to like it.
I don't know. It feels like a lot of people are trying to gaslight themselves.
But I did tell you it's not for everybody, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I do get what you're saying, but I like it I do admit, like, I like it for Robert Pattinson's like performance. That's the reason why I like it. Like,
Yeah, exactly. And he carries. He is really good. He is
does
the one thing. He is the one thing that made me want to keep watching this movie because it was different from when I saw him. His range. I really like his voice was totally weird and different. I liked that. I liked his performance, and he did a great job.
He plays different characters.
Everybody else, I'm sorry.
Seriously, like the more like movies I see him in, the more like actors in that range, like the Austin Butlers, the Chalamets, the Hollands. Like I love those guys, but they're not him, bro. They're not him, dog.
That's what I'm saying. Like if you took him out of the movie and someone else is playing him, like are you gonna like the movie as much?
Probably not.
Not as much. No.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's his performance.
But I can admit that. Like I like the movie.
Yeah.
There are some things like writing wise and like what they're trying to convey. It does fall flat to me. Like the stuff with the clones, it does like they didn't really explain that well. And what they were going for of like finding yourself, it's pretty good through Robert Pattinson's performance, but the writing could have been better on that. But like I said, like I like it because
yeah, and I mean like there is a good story in this for sure. For sure. I think, and I like you said, you gotta understand the filmmaker. I think it was just buried with the political urgency, which I think was necessary in this point in age, but I think it just kind of it took over the story for me. In which I couldn't enjoy it as much.
Yeah.
Speaking of the performances, Rob Pattinson, I think, was the only really good performance in this movie. Everybody else was not doing it for me. It felt like a parody. It felt like an SNL sketch, especially Mark Ruffalo. That shit, I'm sorry. It's the same thing with Poor Things with them. They're like, it's weird, and it's crazy, and it's loud, and it's expressive. That doesn't mean it's freaking good. Like, I'm sorry. It was bad.
I do agree with you on the Poor Things. I'm not a big fan of that movie.
I don't like him in Poor Things. This one, I think it's funny as hell in this one.
I do think he's funnier in this movie than
But I don't. Was it supposed to be funny? Like, it felt like it was.
Most of the time, anyway.
Yeah, right. Like, it just felt like a comedic
performance. Is when he crashed out and he put the hook on Naomi Aki and like he shot the thing. He shot the creature. That's the only time I took it. That's the only time I think you're supposed to take him serious because other than that, he's just a fucking idiot. He's like making weird. He's a weird voice. He's making weird hand gestures.
Oh no, he doesn't have a weird voice. He has a Trump voice. We know that voice from Rental.
He's got the Trump voice. You got the Trump mannerisms.
He's got like, the Trump skin, orange.
It's just distracting. Like it felt like an SNL sketch. His performance to me. I don't know. It's not for me. If you like it, I'm glad you like it. But I feel like I don't know. There's so many weird movies that come out, and maybe it's just me, but I just feel like people just like it because it's weird. A lot of reviews I've seen.
Ari Aster movie.
Huh?
Bo was afraid.
I wouldn't like that.
I said like any Ari Aster movie. I was making a joke.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Midsommar and Hereditary, but
Bo was afraid. No one needs to watch that, please. No, please watch it.
Nah, but this
I wouldn't like
I can see why people it doesn't work for people because this is one of those movies where it's like everyone appreciates the craft across the board. If you don't, you're just objectively wrong. Like, I'm sorry. Like, this is a well-made movie. Everyone can admit that. But either the humor works for you or it doesn't. Either the political messaging lands for you or it's a little too much for you. And that's fine.
Totally fine. Yeah.
Like, there's like, I guess where I'm coming from is like, I'm a big fan of satire. Like, when it's done well, like, they're some of my favorite movies. Like, Starship Troopers is one of my favorite movies of all time. And that entire movie is about as subtle as a brick through a window about what it's trying to say. Like it's pretty clear. It's pretty over the top. And like, I feel like if that's the director's intent, I'm okay with that. For me personally, when people get in trouble is like if I'm supposed to take something seriously and I can't because it's just too over the top.
Yeah.
I feel like he was trying to make it over the top on purpose, which doesn't have to work for everybody. Like I agree, I can understand why it doesn't. If it's stupid sometimes, I admit that. But like for me, most of the time I can stomach if that's what they're trying to do, I can stomach that. If they're trying to be serious and it comes off like ridiculous, like I can't. Obviously, there's exceptions. Like Taika was trying to be ridiculous when he made Thor: Love and Thunder, but like it didn't work. I didn't think it was funny. You know, I didn't think it was funny. But I just happened to think that this was funny, and also it was like I get he was being over the top on purpose. At least to me, he was. Which
I just think there's a line though. Like if you're gonna dive into these deep themes and these relevant political messages, but you make it that over the top, it's just a mess to me. Like it's just, like what are you actually trying to say or do when you're doing these taking a concept that shouldn't be over the top and making it over the top? Because this movie is over the top. There's no doubt about that. That's not saying over the top is a bad thing, but when you try to do these themes and the messages that you're trying to say, but you're making it this crazy, it just didn't work for me.
Fair.
Yeah, it's like absurdism. Like it's whether like you can take like serious. It's a really hard thing to do. Taking a serious like topic and theme and putting it in a package that's like ridiculous and over the top. Like that's why I don't think a lot of people do that well. I think this movie does. I don't think it does it a great job of it all the way consistently. Like I have problems. At times, like I don't think Robert Pattinson's character journey, like what he's trying to do with him overcoming the guilt about he thinks he killed his mother, like with the button stuff.
They should have done more with that.
I don't think they hammered that home enough. Like I got it. Like the whole movie with him and his Mickey 17 and Mickey 18, he's trying to forgive himself for that. That's what he's working through his guilt so he become a better version of himself. But I feel like I get that part of it, like working through it. But I feel like they should have hammered home like the guilt is why he's so uptight. That's why he's so like timid, shy, like he's not sure of himself. Like that should be they could have hammered that home a little bit more. And I think like he would have worked even better as like the emotional tether of the movie. I feel like he kind of got that stuff kind of got lost in like the plot of like the creature stuff and like what's Ruffalo doing, like all that's like I feel like kind of got lost in the politics, like all that stuff. And I feel like the movie was trying to make a political statement at the same time. It was trying to be a character like study,
driven story,
which is possible to do. But I feel like it did it well for most of the movie until like the end. Okay, yeah. So like that's my one problem is like I feel like if you're gonna make this like this whole thing about Mickey coming into himself, like you should have done a little bit more about him like doing that. Like I get by the end of the movie, he's been through all this stuff. Like he's good, but like I feel like a few more scenes could have hammered that home a little more.
Mickey 18 was freaking hilarious. He was like, "Let's kill this fucker." Like that shit.
Mickey 18 is hilarious, bro.
You guys hear Pat's Batman voice come out in that one scene? We're trying to kill Mickey. You died plenty of times. Yeah.
Just make the Batman Part 2 already, Pat's.
End of the year.
He wants to. They asked him about it.
Oh, he's anxious. You can tell he's getting anxious.
Final rating.
Solid 7 out of 10.
I might go 7.5. I think I rated it 4 stars on Letterboxd, so between 7.5 and 8, probably 7.5. Because the stuff with Robert Pattinson's character journey, I kind of wanted a little bit more from that. Now that I think about it more, but good time.
I think he's the best actor working right now. He's too fucking good.
I gave it a 2 out of 5 on Letterboxd. So whenever you translate that 2 out of 10.
4.
He gave it a 2.
Yeah, but that sounds so harsh. 4 out of 10. I think 2 out of 5 sounds a little less harsh.
Yeah.
But you know what?
It sounds better though.
For me, it's not for me. I'm tired of feeling like I have to like these weird movies.
You don't have to like it.
I know. Yeah.
So yeah, if you're curious, go watch it. I don't want this movie. I mean, the movie's not gonna make money because these movies never make money. But go see it. Bong Joon's
Yeah, why
cool.
did it come out? Oh, because it was supposed to come out last year too.
They delayed it like a lot.
Yeah.
Which I think the original release date that they had was better than this one, but whatever.
It was supposed to be late last year.
Yeah.
Maybe they were trying to push for awards and they were like, "This ain't getting anything."
Maybe.
The drama.
I don't know.
We're getting drama.
I think they could have made more if they really. This is a dead time for movies. I guess you could say it's good, but like no one's really going to go see movies right now until Sinners.
What the fuck happened to Noah?
Bro,
What is going on?
They're trying to get Noah out of here. They're trying to
They're like,
no.
They heard
You
that.
can't. You can't.
trying to pack. They're trying to censor Noah, bro. It's crazy. Yeah, go see it, please. Support
Go
movies like
see
this,
it
even if you don't like it. You won't regret seeing it. Like it's. I mean, we need more. We need Bong Joon-ho to make more movies. He's a cool filmmaker. Even if you don't like this one, he'll probably make something you like because Parasite's great. So, yeah,
Go see it because for Pattinson, I mean, the dude's.
yeah. Go watch Robert Pattinson, man.
Yeah, he's good.
It's doing good in international markets. So
All right. Next topic.
is Daredevil
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
first 2 episodes.
The Man Without Fear.
I have not seen it yet. So.
You haven't seen it? Wow.
Bro, I haven't finished the original show.
Oh yeah,
Freaking need.
you got to do that.
I gotta do that. I know.
You got to get to the peak. That is season 3.
Yeah, I do. All right, but you boys discuss.
Darius, you want to go first?
I'll go. So full disclosure, the original Netflix Daredevil. Well, first off, Daredevil in the comics, one of my favorite comics characters of all time. He has so many good stories. The Daredevil Netflix show, one of my favorite shows, not just comic book shows, one of my favorite shows of all time. It's probably in my top 5. Now I think about it, like up there with Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, Sopranos, The Wire. Daredevil's in there somewhere. It changes based on how I feel, but I was super excited for this. It's been well documented, like creative rehaul stuff. They're trying to make it more with Netflix stuff. I was on board with that, and so the first 10 minutes are insane. Like the first 10 minutes of the show are crazy. The craziest 10 minutes I've ever. Some of the craziest 10 minutes I've ever seen in like any opening for any show ever, and I think that the idea of it and some of the execution is really good. I really like the idea of Bullseye just pulling up out of nowhere and causing problems. Bullseye's an awesome character. Wilson Bethel he's one of the best cat. He is crazy.
Really good. Hello, Karen.
And I think Vincent and Moorhead, they cooked with how they filmed the fight, like the angles. I like the wide angles. As a lot of people didn't like it. I like the wide angles. I like the lens they used. I liked the smoke. I liked all of that. It was cool to see Karen and Foggy and Matt together for 5 minutes.
I have issues with that.
But I got some problems with because here's my problem with it. We know they filmed the fight practically. There's set videos of them filming the fight. So we know they did it. But they use CGI, and it's like, why? Like, this is my problem with Marvel sometimes. Like, I get it. When there's certain things that actors just can't do, even some actors can't do, you have to do CGI. I get it. But they do this with Spider-Man and Homecoming as well, where Tom can do the stunts. They just don't let him do the stunts. It's very strange to me.
No, there's nothing. They'll film him doing the stunts,
and put CGI over it.
Yeah, they did
It's
with
like,
no
why?
like the highway stuff. Like,
I don't get why they do that. Like, we know they filmed the fight. There's not much to have in the fight that can't be done practically. I mean, I guess some of the Daredevil acrobatic stuff, like the spinning kick he does, maybe, but like, I don't know. The CGI, if it was good, people wouldn't complain about it. I wouldn't complain about it, but it was bad in a lot of the spots, especially when you get onto the roof. And it kind of pulls you out for a second. But I think the fight itself, like the choreography and the atmosphere, like Bullseye is like in between fighting Matt. He's like throwing knives at random people. That was sick. That was awesome.
Yeah,
It was like an active, like it puts you like a real like active shooter situation. And that's why I like the beginning of the episode. It feels like a bad dream where it feels like everything's happening really fast. Like there's no time to breathe. Matt's got like 20 knives stuck in his chest. Like it was intense. And to address the elephant in the room, shooting Foggy. If you're plugged in, you know this is gonna happen for a while. They filmed that scene in the middle of New York outside. It's not hard to get pictures and photos and stuff like of what happened.
People were claiming that he was on the ground. Like,
yeah, I have a video of him being on the ground. I've had that video for like a year.
Saved it on your phone.
I understand why people are. I'm upset because Foggy in the original Netflix show is one of the best characters in the show. One of the most important characters in the show. He's Matt's best friend. He's Matt's moral compass in a lot of ways. Funny, one of the funniest characters in the MCU.
Yeah.
So him being I just think I don't mind the idea of him dying.
They did it too early.
They just did it in the first 10. Like even if it was at the end of the episode, give us a whole episode of Matt, Karen, and Foggy like in their new law firm, chilling. Everything's great, and then at the end of the episode, had the bullseye stuff happen, and then you ended that way. Because I do like that. Because people comparing this to the Maria Hill thing from Secret Invasion, which I think is a bad comparison because that was just shock value. There was no reason to do that. Like that was just wasting a character, so they could like, oh look, anybody can die in the show. Like no one's safe. Even old characters can die. And then no one else died in the rest of the show. Like that was just shock value. This, I was worried that's what it was gonna be, but what happened to Foggy kind of like it influences Karen, her arc, and influences Matt, and like what Matt's going through this season, like all the anger he has inside. He throws Bullseye off the goddamn roof, which is that was a crazy scene. He just tossed him. But yeah, I still would not have killed Foggy that early. Even if you believe Foggy's, assuming we'll talk about that later on, like the theories that people have about that. I have a theory about what happened with. I have someone hired Dex to do that. I think it was Vanessa that did that.
I agree.
But I'm not 100% the Foggy's dead. But the rest of the episode, like after the time skip, I get why they did it. Matt has a new life, all that stuff. I like the new characters. There's been a lot of hate for the new characters. I like the Cherry guy. He's funny. He's like a New York cop. I like his new law partner, Kirsten. She's funny. She's like trying to set him up. That was funny. Heather's cool. Is a love interest. She's a therapist. I like that angle. She can like understand some of what Matt's going through potentially. No, Fisk is my favorite part of the first two episodes. What they're doing with him is so good. Like I like that they're setting up a dichotomy where like Matt is trying to move on from Daredevil, and Fisk is trying to move on from like the Kingpin crime boss persona at the same time, and like they're both trying to be like these new people and leave their like their alter egos in the past. Like that scene of them in the diner is some HBO level.
That's the best scene.
That's some HBO level stuff, right? That's like HBO prestige level stuff. That conversation they had where they're like, they're having friendly banter, but there's like threats, there's like veiled threats in there. They're like filling each other out. Like that's one of the best like dialogue exchanges. That's the old show right there. That's something straight out of the old show. I like that they're like setting up like Vanessa took over while Kingpin was gone, and now like he's
like that.
back, and he just like their relationship's different now. Like I like that. I like that Fisk is actually trying to change. Like it'll be really easy to just have Fisk be like, yeah, I want to be mayor, but actually I'm still a crime boss in the shadows doing like my bullshit. Like no, he's actually wants to be like a better person. He wants to do good for New York, like sincerely, but like he's so like damaged and scarred and stuff. And like he is, Kingpin is still like who he is, but he's just trying to suppress that. There's really compelling stuff. Same with Matt and Daredevil. Like I like that they're paralleling that. Like they're both trying to leave it behind, but they can't. And see, like episode 2, I think is a little better than episode 1 because it kind of builds on that. Like you have Matt trying to defend this guy, White Tiger. RP to the actor, by the way. He passed of cancer Christmas Eve, I think. RP to him. He gave a great performance. You're trying to like defend this guy who got like wrongfully convicted of killing these cops. Like the dirty cops. I love that angle too. I like that they're leaning into like the political side of things. The Punisher tattoo. If you know what that's about. Dirty cops and abusive cops and all that stuff. Matt tries to do things the right way. He tries to help the witness out. He tries to de-escalate the situation, but they give him no choice. So he crashes out. He goes Daredevil. He does it, and you can tell he doesn't want to do it, but they brought it out of him. And then at the same time, like Fisk is the commissioner, rightfully so. It's like, nah, bro, I don't fuck with you like that. I don't trust you. You're still Kingpin, bro. You did all this bad stuff. I'm not gonna forget that. And Kingpin crashes out and it's like, yeah, all right, bro. I got dirt on you. I'll expose you if you come at me crazy like this. This is how we're gonna do things right here. I like that.
Yeah.
I like Michael Gandolfini's character so far. He's kind of like people kind of thought he'd be kind of like Vic from Penguin going into this, but he's not really like Vic at all. He's kind of he's kind of like sucking up the Kingpin. He's like a fanboy kind of, and he's like, you can tell he's really power hungry, and we don't really know what he wants.
You know what they're basing that off of. I'm not gonna say it, but you know what they are.
Yeah.
I like it.
The show is very political, but it's done in a way where it's not overwhelming. Like, I mean, if you know, you know, but it's not subtle. Fisk we got a Spider-Man name drop kind of in episode 2.
Which should be paid off in a future movie, but it probably won't because of multiverse bullshit. But anyway, go on.
I don't know what's going on with that movie anymore. We can make a whole episode about what's happening with that movie. I love the cinematography. It's different than the Netflix show. But I don't think that's necessarily, other than the bad CGI a couple times, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. It kind of has its own vibe to it. I kind of like it. I like how New York feels alive. Kind of reminds me of like the Raimi trilogy in some ways. Like the news segments and like the way the city feels. It's gritty. It feels like they're actually shooting on location. You can tell. Like I like that. So overall, I give the first one a 7.5 or an 8, and the second one an 8.5. I think the second one's better. And from what I've heard from the reviews, it gets better as it goes along. So I'm excited. And I'm excited for tomorrow because new episode tomorrow. We should be getting into the White Tiger trial stuff, which should be interesting because I've heard good things about that. It's a good story in the comics too. Yeah, good start. Not perfect, but good.
Okay. For me, when I saw the reviews before the first 2 episodes came out, like there were reviews based just talking about the first 2 episodes. A lot of people were overhyping the hell out of these first 2 episodes.
Oh, yeah.
And that's just my opinion. Just after seeing it, I was like, it was just fine. Like, to me, I think the first 2 episodes are just okay and solid. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I've seen a lot of, like, fighting online about people criticizing the first 2 episodes. And fair criticism. Like, people are having, like, fair criticisms. And people are just saying, like, oh, they're over hating it. And it's like, they're just judging it based on these first 2 episodes. Like, it's nothing to write home about. For me, my relationship with Daredevil, the show, I loved the first 3 seasons on Netflix. I think arguably, now that we can say it because it's in the MCU, Daredevil's probably the best, arguably the best written MCU character. Like, it's really like you could say Tony, Steve.
Honestly, it's like
Peter,
Daredevil, Tony, and Loki.
Yeah,
really, Spider-Man.
Yeah, those characters like Matt Murdock is the freaking man. But those first 3 seasons are golden. First 10 minutes, like you said, Darius was freaking nuts. Like, you know, it's just like, here you go. There now. Like,
it's overwhelming. Like I had to pause. Like I'm like, what the hell? Like, what is happening?
Yeah. For me personally, just that fight scene, I thought it was okay. The bullseye fight, I thought it could have been better. Because for one, you can't really see it, what's going on. A lot of smoke, and I feel like that kind of took me out of it. And I have a big problem with Marvel and CGI. They gotta stop. They gotta stop. They have, please, like. And
when it doesn't need to be CGI, I get it. If there's like characters on the screen, like there's Rocket Raccoons on the fucking screen. It's got to be CGI.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. But like when it comes to like street level characters like Daredevil and Spider-Man, you're taking away from the costume designers like work when you plaster the CGI a lot,
and the stunts and the stunt people too.
And the stunt, like, let's not do that. You don't need to. And me personally, I think the show looks okay. I think it looks too digital.
Yeah, some scenes does.
In some scenes, I just don't get why. Like, again, say what you want about Star Wars, is that this, but their TV shows look fucking amazing. Like cinematography, they look like movies. I don't understand why Marvel can't do that with their TV shows.
The only show that looks great to me is Loki season 2.
Thank you. Like, it's very
Loki season 1 looked good too. They both look good, but Loki season 2 especially look.
It's just done by Vincent Moorhead. Like it's just very weird how like they can't get like. We gotta let the filmmakers, like, I want to know their vision. I want to see their vision. Like, I'd make these shows look better. Like, a lot of the MCU shows just look like plastic corporate shit. Like, I mean, like, that's just the only way I can put it. But I feel like the stuff that really carried it was Wilson and Matt's. Like, I really love their arc about like they're trying to change, they're trying to put their past behind them, but they really can't. And you saw this the second, like, the episode 2's ending. Matt's like, you don't want to do this, like, don't do it. like she tell him, like,
double out,
like, he lets it out, like, and I love that. And he just screams at the end, like, it cuts. I like that. I love what they did with that. But I think Wilson, I agree with you. Wilson and Vanessa, to me, were like the best in these first 2 episodes.
Most interesting plot lines so far. Yeah.
Most interesting plot lines, definitely. I like what they're doing with Matt. The thing about it and why I'm so like 50-50 on these first 2 episodes is because of the side characters. I think they're getting a little too much hate. I do agree, but they're not intriguing. That's the word for me. Michael Gandolfini, underrated actor, was just like his dad, but his character didn't really get enough of him to really like get a judgment on him.
Yeah, I'm intrigued. I just want to see what he wants. Like, he definitely,
want to see what he wants. The reviews have said that he's like, some of the reviews have said like he's really good. So I'm waiting to like see like what he does in future episodes.
There's another character they introduced that's kind of in the background who's going to be big later, but it's kind of like a blank missing. Yeah, I was like, oh, that's
Muse. Though the cop was he a cop that found who was a new character that found out Matt's identity?
Oh yeah, he was the cop that was going to retire that night. He retired. He was the guy they threw the party for. Yeah, he was a cop.
I feel like he's okay. There was a missed opportunity with that. I felt like they should have brought the cop from the cop that worked with Foggy a lot.
Oh, Mahoney.
They should have brought him in.
Mahoney.
And he should have found out Matt was Daredevil. I feel like that would have.
Yeah, that would have made sense.
That would have, for me. I feel like I would have done that. But the side characters are fine. I think Disney, like Marvel, like the Disney Plus, like side characters, they just haven't worked for me. But I'm gonna obviously like I have to. There's like what 7 more episodes left, or like how many? Like so, let's see where they go with the side characters. But like they haven't worked with me like the other Disney Plus Marvel shows. But Karen, I think the main issue that I have is like there was such a big like overhaul and like people wanted Karen and Foggy back. And yes, if you know comics, there's a good chance that Foggy is alive. If you know, you know. If you know, I'm not going to
either at the end of this season or season 2, he might be back.
But I wish they saved that for the end of the season because I did want to see like that napkin scene at the end of season 3. Like, okay, Nelson, Murdoch, and Paige. Like, I wanted to see like a whole season of that, and like we didn't really get that. He's like seeing like them like all 3 of them working on like a White Tiger case, and then like Punisher's back, and that's what I kind of was expecting with the overhaul. But now that like I don't know, I just kind of like it's kind of not in poor taste, but it's like okay, the fans, I hate to do like the fan entitlement shit because I don't want to come across that way. But like everybody,
we wanted
we wanted Foggy and Karen back, and then like, yeah, motherfucker, let's just shoot Foggy. It's like, damn, bro. Like, and then like Karen moves.
You could tell, and you'd also tell like in interviews, like the creatives, like the new team, Vincent and Moorhead, the new showrunner, Dario something, I can't remember his last name, but you can tell that they didn't want, like, this is not what they wanted to do. Like, they would not, if they were in charge the whole way, I don't think Foggy would have died.
Yeah,
I think that's this decision the old creatives made, and if they didn't kill Foggy or shoot Foggy, however you want to say it, they would have had to reshoot the whole season. Which, like, as much as we might have been okay with that, fans been begging for Daredevil for years. Yeah, people have been begging for it. They wanted to come out.
And it cost money.
Also, costing money. Yeah, it would have cost a shit ton of money. Probably already does for them to redo what they already did.
There are scenes in there that you could tell they're like, yeah, this is from the old, like the original version,
especially in episode 2. Yeah. The whole pilot was new. I think that was all new.
Yeah, but I just feel like that's what I wanted. That's it's tough because like you could still like you could grade the season. Like, I mean, obviously not the season because we haven't seen the season, but like. You could grade, that Karen and Foggy are not going to be in that much because I think Cody Lee said in his review, like, yeah, don't get your hopes up. Like Karen, she comes back, but like she's not in it that much
towards the end.
Yeah, but a lot of the fighting, I hope it gets better because like there are some reviews that have said like it's okay, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm really interested to see like what they do with Punisher, Frank, and that arc and that story. But I don't know. It's solid so far. I'm cautiously optimistic, but I don't know. It just kind of it's concerning because like, why didn't they just bring back Karen and Foggy in the original version? It just seemed like that's like. Again, I love like Kevin Feige. I know ill will against him. Like I think he's one of the best. Like he's great for the comic book, like movie. Like industry, but like I just
makes some weird decisions.
That's a weird decision. Like the fact that he thought that, like, yeah, let's just go in a completely new direction. It just seems like they're trying to like do something new, but keep the structure of like the old like show. Which, first off, I don't even think they should have called this Just call it Daredevil season 4. Like it's still that's kind of bothering me though. After watching these first 2 episodes, it's like.
Wait, because they're adapted Born. It's a meta title. It's like the Homecoming thing. It's
I don't know.
It's what they did. They already adapted Born Again in season 3 to begin with. So
yeah, just call it. Just call it Daredevil season 4.
There's probably legal reasons. There's probably legal reasons they can't do that. Now that I think about it, because Netflix made it.
Probably.
But, yeah, I think.
I hope they bring Matt's mom back.
I hope she's in this. Because
that was
one thing I did hear, which I don't really agree with. A lot of the reviews saying that like the Catholic stuff is not a part of Matt's character. Like I disagree with that. Like in the first 2 episodes, you can clearly, like, especially the second one where he's like outside of that church and he's like listening.
I like that where he's like he stops himself from going in because of,
he doesn't feel he's too guilty. He doesn't feel worthy of going in. Like there's a lot of subtle. What I was worried about was like they were gonna miss out on some of those subtle moments. There's a lot of subtle moments still, like when Karen, like in episode 1, when Karen is like kneeling by, like she's like by Foggy's side, like as he's just died, and she hears a body fall from the roof. She freaks out, like she's scared because she thinks that it's Matt at first, and she just thinks she lost 2 of her best friends. But then she looks and sees that it's Bullseye, and she's still scared because holy shit, Matt just trying to kill someone.
Yeah.
And she knows what that's going to do to him. Yeah. And there's another part in episode 2. It's like towards the beginning where Fisk is talking to his assistant, and she's like telling him, "Oh yeah, the voters don't really like that you're like Vanessa's not with you in public." If you look at his knuckles, they are bloody and bruised. What the hell what was he doing? Like, I think he beat the Adam dude's ass.
He did.
That dude that Vanessa was cheating with. I think he beat that dude's ass. I think he did it off screen. And they're gonna reveal it later, because like if you look at his knuckles, they're like bruised up.
They might flash back to it. You never know.
Yeah, if there's anything you know about, like you ever know, been in a fight or punched anybody, like you punch somebody really hard, your knuckles bruise up, like you. I feel like that's what happened. So I like the subtle. Even like Muse's introduction is very subtle. Like the guy who's probably Muse, we don't know technically because they haven't revealed the actor, but he, the guy in the bookstore that comes up to Heather and he's like, "Yeah, I need help." Like the camera lingers on him.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do. Muse definitely needs help. I'm excited for that plot line because I heard he does some crazy stuff. But yeah, Frank, I'm excited for that. Definitely excited. Bullseye's gonna be back. I'm excited for how he gets out of jail.
Hello, Karen.
Bullseye's a menace. He's crazy, bro.
Hello, Karen.
Just hating for the love of the game. He's just hating. I respect it, but nah, it's a solid start. And from what most reviews I've seen, it does get better as it goes. So I'm not concerned. I think, especially towards the end, I heard like the back half of the season where they got to film their own stuff, like it's crazy.
Yeah, I heard like
I do think season 2 will be better because they have their whole, like they can film whatever they want now. They don't have to work with previous footage and make it fit and all that stuff. Like they can just do whatever. Excited for that Punisher special. John Berthal's writing it.
Yes, so, as he should.
Excited for that.
Fucking Punisher.
And yeah, this is what Marvel needs, though. Like even with my problems with it, my gripes with it, we need more street level. We need these type of stories. I love that they're like going all in with like the dirty cops and the mob and Fisk is the mayor now. Like, I like that we're going. I like the era of the multiverse stuff. We haven't forgotten. Like, yeah, this is Marvel. Some of Marvel's best stories is like down here at this level. And also, I forgot about her. I like the BB Urick character, like the girl, the reporter, and that scene where she's talking to Fisk. And he's like, "I knew your uncle." I'm like, you motherfucker, you killed him.
Yeah, you killed him.
And and she's gonna find that out, and that's gonna be interesting to see what she does with that information. So yeah, solid start. Ready to see more. I'm excited for the episode tomorrow. There's gonna be people online that are glazing it and people that are hating on it that are gonna like ruin the discourse about it, because I've seen both. People are glazing it, calling it the best Marvel thing ever. People also hating on it, saying it's trash. I'm like, neither one of you are correct. It's a good show so far.
It's solid.
It's good. Like it's pretty good so far. Yeah. It's fine. Everything has to be the greatest thing ever or trash, you know.
Yeah. And it's okay if it doesn't match the first 3 seasons of.
I don't think it ever was going to.
Yeah, like you're not gonna reach that peak. Like it's fine. Like,
as long as it's a good show, I'm satisfied.
That's all I care. As long as it's good, I don't give a shit. Like,
so yeah, good start.
Good start. All right. Yeah. So I guess now we can talk about. We missed this. When was this announced? Like the last couple of weeks with DC, they released a presser.
DC went crazy.
They went nuts. They announced like, mostly it was an updated presser. I think the press was at this event. It wasn't really an event, but it was something that the events could attend, that the press could attend. They announced their plan for yearly release. They want to release 7 projects, which we think that's not gonna happen, and it's unrealistic.
That is not happening. That is not gonna happen.
But they gave updates on some projects like Brave and the Bold, which we have some thoughts on. They talked about Superman, obviously, which is coming out. They're going to be at CinemaCon. I'll pull up the article.
They talked about Clayface. That shoots soon, I think. June, I think they said.
Yeah. A bunch of Elseworlds stuff they announced, like Starfire show.
Animated stuff.
Elseworlds and stuff.
Got our first look at Lanterns.
Yeah, that Cape Crusader thing. Like, yeah. The Cape Crusader, like, animated puppet thing. They said that's going to happen.
Dynamic
if it's DC, you were not, though. Yeah.
I mean, I am not a fan of all these announcements they are making.
Me either.
I respect ambition and I respect a plan, but you've announced stuff from almost, 2 years ago now? 3 years ago now that doesn't even have, like, the Waller show. That show is literally going nowhere right now, and it was announced years ago.
Booster Gold, like, where's
Booster Gold, where is that? Swamp Thing, all this stuff that they announced. The Authority that was announced a while ago is not even close to getting started. They don't have showrunners, they don't have directors, they don't have stars. You shouldn't be announcing anything until you have a showrunner for a show, a director for a movie, and a script. You don't need to know the actor, but you got to know that stuff before you start announcing it. I don't know. Like, it's a bunch of talk when we don't even know how, Superman's going to be yet. We've seen one thing in the DCU, which is a very small part of it, which is Creature Commandos. Why are we announcing all of this stuff when we don't even know? We have no clue how this universe is going to look visually. We only hear stuff, and I hate it. I hate just hearing all this stuff. That's not going to happen for in the next 5 to 10 years, maybe. Like, just work with what you have. Focus on one thing at a time, one step at a time. We're not looking forward to a big universe and how everything's going to connect. No, we're looking forward to a solid show, a solid movie of characters that we just don't get to see that much. Like Lanterns, that one picture we got me so excited.
That was sick. I love that.
It's really not a lot. It's just
they definitely go with that True Detective vibe, and I love it.
It's just Hal and John walking in their normal clothes, and Hal's got the ring on, and that just got me so excited because I'm so excited to see Green Lantern finally, and Jon Stewart live action. Like, that's what I'm excited for. Stop announcing all this stuff. It's annoying. It's really annoying. Like, stop trying to be the MCU. Stop trying to be the MCU. I thought James Gunn understood he wasn't gonna. This wasn't gonna be like the MCU format. Clearly, that doesn't even work anymore. People aren't on.
I think, obviously, yeah, I do agree. Like, it still seems like they're trying to be like the MCU. However, I think their approach to making projects is vastly different from the MCU. Because I do
start
like
filming.
I do like that because Marvel does film when the script ain't even fucking done. Like, they did that a lot with. They did that with Iron Man, the first Iron Man.
Because they got lucky and they got right. They did it, and the movie was good a few times. You're like, okay, we can do this for every project. Nah, you can't. You can't do that. Every time. You shouldn't do that at all. But if it happens once, that's fine. Don't do it again.
I like that Supergirl is having a smooth production. I like that. And we don't know anything about that. We know what the comic they're adapted, but we don't know. Like, I love that there's no
great comic, by the way.
Yeah, there's no leaks ruining that movie, and you can see the same for Superman.
It's great.
Clayface, I'm the more and more I hear about that, the more I'm excited for that project. Basically, it's gonna be DC's version of The Substance. I hope that they get Kieran Culkin for the lead role.
Oh, that would be sick.
That would be sick. It's supposed to be set in Hollywood and Gotham, so that's interesting. I don't know if most people read that, but it said it. James Watkins directing, Mike Flanagan's writing, script is already done.
Mike Flanagan
set to start. I wish he was directing though. Happy for James Watkins, but I wish Mike Flanagan was directing though. That would have been sick. But it's supposed to start filming this summer, and they've Warner Brothers has rallied with the genre movies like It, Nun, and Beetlejuice, and it's unclear if it will shoot in Southern California after the LA wildfires, and but it's supposed to be set in Hollywood and Gotham, so I think that's interesting. I think they're gonna go with the movie angle route with Clayface, kind of like mixing like the Basil Carlo and stuff. Yeah, so I think that's interesting. I like that. Brave the Bold.
That
movie
even exists.
What happened? That's Gunn's other universe, Batman, separate from Reeves' universe, remains in development. Andy Muschietti will be the first one to see a script, said Gunn and Safran. I think that's a weird thing to say. They have a writer, but didn't want to name him as it puts too much pressure on the new guy. I have some thoughts on that in a minute. Centers
That's a weird thing to say.
Brave the Bold centers on the Dark Knight and his son Damian Wayne as Robin, who is quite the firecracker. I don't know what the hell that says. Batman is unaware that he has a son. The project is based on Grant Morrison's run of Batman. Okay. And then you have the Sergeant Rock, which I'm mostly intrigued with that project with Luca directing that.
They're looking at him now.
They're looking at him. They're looking at a bunch of actors, and Luca's directing it. It was funny how Luca had a DC studio shirt on at some event that he was at. I freaking love that. It's supposed to be set in World War II, and I think it's who's writing the script. Justin Kurzak. I don't know what that is, but I love that Teen Titans is happening. I wouldn't have announced it, but I'm glad that they're working on it. But it seems like they like the writer Anna. No, I can't pronounce the last name, but she wrote the Supergirl script. So they like her work, so she's getting more work. So I think Teen Titans will probably get greenlit probably next year. Swamp Thing is weird. They said that James Mangold is still attached, but
he's busy with Star Wars now.
They said the ball is really in his court. I thought that was a weird thing to say. Like that means like, yeah, it's not, almost seems like it's like, yeah, well,
he wants to, sure.
He wants to, there you go. But
Yeah, he's writing Star Wars right now. That's gonna keep him busy for a minute.
Peacemaker season 2 is happening. The Waller shit, like Noah said, we don't know where that's going. They talked about the Penguin season 2 to be determined. There's a lot of moving pieces.
I don't want that.
I don't think it's gonna happen. Booster Gold.
They have an actor, but like, where's everything else for Booster Gold? Where's the showrunner?
Is that even confirmed that he's the actor?
Is that confirmed?
I don't think so.
A lot of people, like a lot of scoopers, said that he was, and I think, but no one, he didn't say anything, and DC didn't say anything, so I'm really confused. Like,
I don't think it's confirmed.
The Blue Beetle animated series, that's still happening. They're getting close to it follows the events of the movie, and they're getting close to where they want to greenlight the project really, really soon. An Angel Manuel Soto is still attached, and Gareth Alcoker is their screenwriter, and he was the screenwriter. He wrote the 2023 film. Paradise Lost.
Oh, the Wonder Woman. That's such a weird thing. Why not just make a Wonder Woman?
Thank you.
Why are we doing a preview for this? I don't listen. Themyscira is cool, but this is like in Marvel. When they did Black Panther, they're like, "Look, let's make a Wakanda project first." Like
that's exactly how this is. Yep.
Like, why would you do that? Like, just
because recently the Wonder Woman movie came out, which I kind of understand. We don't need to see the same origin story, but this is kind of dumb.
Just do something different with somebody.
Yeah, just make it like just have an approach like Superman, where it's like not an origin, like she's been a hero since.
Yeah, they've been screwing Wonder Woman over recently. The game got canceled too. That pissed me off. That was stupid. Like
Matt Reeves and then the Batman 2. They didn't say part 2 because apparently in the last article about the Batman part 2, they said part 2 might not be in the title anymore. So that was interesting. Matt Reeves has yet to turn in a script, but from what Gunn and Safran have read, they love it. Production outlook is end of the year of this current year, 2025. The release date is still slated for October 1st, 2027. A weekend on which Warner Brothers still owns a domestic opening record with Joker's 2019's opening of $96.2 million. So yeah, that's pretty much all the updates for DC. What are your thoughts?
I feel like 90% of this is just for investors.
Yeah.
Like, this is to show the investors that they are, like, this is, because Marvel does this as well. They did this a few years ago at Comic-Con where they announced like 20,000 things. They announced like King Dynasty Secret Wars coming out in the same year, which was never going to happen. You're not going to release 2 Avengers movies in the same year. This is the similar thing to me where it's like, are most of these projects going to come out? Most likely. But they're not going to come out at the volume that of 7 a year. Listen.
Yeah. Oh, also, I forgot Peacemaker season 2 is still slated for August. But go ahead.
Yeah. I just don't. Not even Marvel can get out 7 projects a year, and they've been doing this for 10 years already. They have the infrastructure. Disney is in a better financial place than Warner Brothers, as far as we're aware, and they can afford to do more, but they can't. So I don't see how Warner Brothers, who we've known has had financial problems in the past, like well-known financial problems, can put out 7 projects from just DC alone in a single year. I just don't see how that's possible.
Yeah. And
people are gonna get burnt out by that because so you're having a project like a movie, a show, like animated shit, like something like every part of the that's crazy.
I don't really like the whole My Adventures with Green Lantern. No, let's focus on the Lantern show. Okay.
That's hypocritical because you say you don't want 2 Batman at the same time and 2 Superman at the same time, but you can have 2 versions of Green Lantern at the same time. Like you can do that. That's fine. I mean, I'd be a different character because it's about the Jessica Cruz, but still, like that's not that won't confuse people. I don't know. It just feels like I doubt that they're planning on actually doing 7 a year. Like that kind of volume, like the way they're going right now, like Supergirl started production just now, a few weeks ago,
started a month ago, and it's halfway. Wait, when did it start? They said it was halfway done. So
a few months ago, the beginning of the year, basically.
January. They started in January.
Like, we don't know. I think Peacemaker's been filmed, right?
It's done. Yeah,
that's
it's done in August.
Yeah. So like he's getting them out, but like you can't have like Noah said, some of these don't even have writers and showrunners. I mean, I guess they could have those people behind the scenes. We just don't know, but I doubt that. Like, I don't know. It's
what he said about Brave and the Bold was very interesting because we have our theories on what's going on behind the whole.
I still think they're separate, but I don't know why. Like the whole thing about keeping listen, as a writer, keeping a writer's name out of the public because you don't want, regardless. Like, what do you mean?
Okay,
I don't get what that solves. It's a Batman movie. The fans are crazy. There's gonna be pressure. Like, whenever you're writing like that, some pressure.
I have a theory on what's going on with this movie. I think James Gunn has said that his favorite comic book character is Batman. Yeah. And he has said that he's really passionate about Batman. And I feel like he said that he's already writing his next project. I feel like that next project is Brave and the Bold. I think he's writing the movie. I think it's either that or World's Finest movie. It's either one of those two, but I think it's this one.
Already?
Probably, I don't know. But, he could, yeah.
I mean, if they plan this far out ahead, why not? Right? Like,
why not?
They got every project.
Well, I think most likely, if I was a betting man, I would say Brave and the Bold. He's probably writing that movie, and I think they've moved Andy Muschietti off the project, and he's probably been named as like an executive producer role or something like that. I don't think he's going to direct the movie. I don't see it happening, and who knows if it's even a new Batman, like a new actor that's playing a Batman. I don't know. This whole Reeves, Muschietti, Brave and the Bold stuff, it's not, I feel like it's still not clarified. The only way I believe that they're separate at this point is unless they can't, like, until I see an article that says, okay, DCU Batman is, like, then I
would agree, but Gunn said that, like, that's not gonna happen. Like, if he hadn't said that outright, I would agree. Yeah. But like he said it, and it's like, I mean, I guess he could change his mind, but like that would be a really bad look if he said that like now, and in like a year, they announced that Pat's the DCU Batman is okay. What the hell? Like you
well, no.
The
thing
you
is,
lied.
Though, why
you can't.
This is my thing though. I still feel like the two Batmans thing, they're not 100% committing to it because why is there no urgency on getting a DCU Batman? That's my thing. Like, if you're trying to start a DC universe, let's get an actor to play DC Batman. There's a Clayface movie coming out next year, and it's supposed to be in the DCU. It would make sense for a DCU Batman to show up. And he even said it, like, okay, Batman might show up in other projects. So, like, let's get – if you're already saying let's do the two Batmans thing, well, at least commit to it. Like, let's not, like –
I think they're more committed to it than what we know because maybe they want, the eyes on Robert Pattinson and Matt Reeves. They don't want to take away from that spotlight, so they're going to wait till after that movie comes out and then just release everything they know about the movie. They could already have someone they want. They could already, have the script. I just think they're keeping it on the DL for whatever reason, probably because of they want the hype around Matt Reeves and everything else happening in the DC universe. Because people know when people hear Batman, that's all they think about. That's all they want to know about.
It would be confusing as hell for general audiences too. Like people waiting for the Batman Part 2 that are not like plugged in.
But you're already gonna confuse them when you make that Avengers.
Yeah, but like they would confuse them more. They're like, you imagine you're waiting for the Batman Part 2. You don't know about this whole DC shit, and you see some random guy get cast as Batman. You're like, wait,
what the?
No, I agree.
Like what?
I would 100% agree. That's why I think two Batman shouldn't be fucking happening. But it is what it is. But you're already gonna confuse audiences, and especially if there's like, if Matt is doing a Robin, like there's gonna be multiple freaking Robins, like. I don't know.
I would agree.
You would know, but casual audiences are not gonna know. Like,
I would agree that it's not a foregone conclusion. I just think Gunn would definitively say, "Yeah, it's not happening," and then like a year later, he would be like, "Yeah, it's just happening now." It's like, well, why did you say that? Just don't answer that. Just don't answer that question. Like, why would you answer that?
I don't think they're merging anymore.
No, the merging thing, I don't really care about that anymore. I'm just saying, okay, like if you're gonna do the two Batmans thing, like commit to it. Like you can't like because that's already a risk. And he was like, you knew that's gonna be a risk when you say, okay, yeah, we're gonna have this separate Batman, and then we're gonna have our own DCU Batman. That's already a risk. Like, don't half-ass it and don't be like, okay, because people are gonna ask, okay, where's DCU Batman? Fans like us are gonna ask, where's DCU Batman? So like, you gotta like commit.
I think they're just more focused on the other projects.
Yeah,
and also they just don't want to shit on Matt.
No, I agree.
They wanted to delay DCU Batman as long as possible because, like Noah said, they don't want to compete with themselves. They don't want to compete with like the Reeves trilogy or however many films he ends up making, and also they don't want to confuse audiences. And also, it's like I feel like they're trying to wait until they can't wait till the Reeves trilogy is over, but they're trying to wait as close to that as possible before they start like building up.
Oh, they definitely are.
They're trying to basically make the window where there's two Batman at the same time as small as possible. If you get what I mean, like they're trying to make it seem like
I agree.
There's only one Reeves movie and DCU Batman's just starting. Like that's what they're trying to do.
Like you don't want to.
I just don't think they're planning it out very well.
You don't want to make all these announcements about the Batman movie and have it come out in 6 years.
Yeah, like 20. Like, if it comes out of 2029, like
yeah,
why are we here for it yet?
No, I agree. But it's just like you know what the risk you're doing anyway. It's like you're not going to be able to hold on much longer. Like,
well, this is why they should have waited till after the Reeves versus started DCU anyways. But they
definitely.
Or just make the trilogy then merge.
Yeah. But they can't do that now because now people want Batman and they're going to get Batman.
I don't know. It just because listen, I like Superman and all, but you can't rely on him to freaking carry that many years. Like people are going to be asked. That's why you need Wonder Woman. Like I understand. Like I get where there are some fans are like, "Where's Wonder Woman?" Like there should be a Wonder Woman movie in the freaking slate. I don't understand.
Superman could be the face for a while.
No.
Superman is the face of DC.
No, he can. But what I'm saying is like, people are gonna ask, "Where the hell is Batman?" Like, people are already asking that. But we'll see what they cook up. I don't know. I just want to know what. Give me the freaking Batman sequel. I don't give a shit about Brave and the Bold.
Seven projects not happening. It might be 4, 5 at the most.
I already think they should change Brave and the Bold. Like, listen, I like Damian Wayne, but he doesn't. Yet. He's not yet. That's way too early to do that. I want like if you want to do a Bat Family movie, fine, but give me like a.
I'll take Tim Drake, man. Tim.
Like, give other like. Dick Grayson has not gotten the proper shine in live action.
Robin has, but I'd rather him get the shine than Matt Reeves.
True, because Matt will actually know what he's doing. But I don't know. Brave and the Bold does not intrigue me. Like that whole, I feel like it's not going to be a Batman and Robin movie. I feel like it's going to be a Bat Family movie, which is, it's fine, but I don't know.
We do kind of need a Bat Family movie. It's about time for one, but
no, for sure. But the essence should still be like.
It'll be a Bruce movie for like the most part, but
I don't think it will. We'll see.
When has any Batman movie not been about Batman? Like that hasn't been a problem.
But they've also never.
They even make other people's movies about Batman. They make the Flash movie about Batman. Like they make everything about Batman.
But I'm just saying, because he has said, okay, it's going to be about Bruce and Damian. But then he said the Bat Family is going to be involved as well, and it's like, how about you just not cut out Damian? Let's get a Batman and Robin movie. and then we can do a Bat Family. That's all. That's what I want. But I mean, if they're not gonna do it there, I hope Matt does it in the sequel. But it is what it is. That's all that we have to say on that. I guess we get talk about our final topic: the Netflix directors that can't direct without Marvel, the Russo brothers and the Electric State directors. They've had a lot to say about Doomsday. They've said recently that RDJ is writing his own material. I don't understand that at all, but his own material.
They say he was researching his own stuff. I don't know if they say.
I heard writing somewhere.
I heard writing too.
I heard writing.
I heard that he was doing he was researching like Doom stuff. He was writing his own backstory. He's not writing his like lines.
Yeah, that's what I heard. He's writing his own backstory.
They say he's like really into the character and stuff.
That's great.
Writing his own backstory, whatever that means. I don't like for himself or for the movie. Like, what does that mean? Because
I don't know. I took that as like, because you know how actors will like if their backstory isn't like explained in the movie, like all of it, they'll write it themselves so they can get into the headspace. Like that's what I think. That I don't think he's literally.
But isn't it explained if you just read the comics? Like, why is he writing his own?
That's what I think. I think they're saying that he's reading the comic. He's writing it. Like, I don't think he's literally like making shit up. Like, yeah, Dr. Doom is fucking. He's from Detroit, and he's like, I don't think he's making stuff up. Like,
I honestly think though that's probably what he's doing, because it's not like a young and upcoming actor excited for the role. Nah, it's Robert Downey Jr. He's not. I think it's more believable. He would
the kind of guy. RDJ's not new. He's new. He's not new to this. I don't think he's the kind of guy to just like make. I don't think he knows that.
I do agree with Darius. I don't think that he's making shit up. I just think like that's just a weird thing to say. Like, why are you saying he's writing?
I mean, I don't really think he ever really read the Iron Man comics.
None of these fucking actors do.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm saying when he's writing his own backstory, it's probably from him, not the comics.
Well, like when people say I read the comics, they mean that their team read the comics for them and then gave them bullet points about it. That's what I think he's doing. I think he's having his people read the Doctor Doom's appearances, take the most important things out of it, and then he's going to use that to make his own version of that backstory. That's all I think that means. I don't think he's literally like, oh yeah, from what little he knows about Doctor Doom, I'm just gonna like make some shit up, and this is the backstory in the movie now. Like, listen, I know the Russos are not great filmmakers. Like, objectively speaking, they're not good. They made a good episode of Community. A couple good episodes of Community. They made 3 really great MCU movies before, and everything after that has been pretty bad, including Electric State. I will not watch that. I'm not watching that. I can't do it.
I honestly still think that Robert Downey Jr.'s Doom isn't the main Doom. Then that's why he's writing his own backstory. I still think that he's writing his own backstory.
No, he's going to be MCU Doom. No, like after. No, he's not going to. There's going to be another one for sure.
I don't think he is the main. I honestly think that they could be faking us out.
Like he just gets killed in the movie by like the real one.
Well, yeah. I think the issue that I have is I feel like he's gonna play Iron Man and Doom in this movie. There's gonna be an Iron Man variant. You know,
there will be for sure.
There will in this, whether it's in this movie or the next, he will play.
In Secret Wars, I think there'll be an Iron Man.
Probably, yeah. They're gonna do it. They're gonna have Iron Man, a scene with just Iron Man and Doom fighting each other. And it's gonna be fucking ass. I'm sorry. I don't think it'll be good. But either way, like I hope these movies are good for Marvel's sake. But and all of our sakes, because if they're not, oh my god. But I just wish that Marvel did not. The more and more I hear about this movie, even the more less excited I get, because I really wish they stuck with Kang. listen, no matter what you feel about Ant-Man 3 or Kang as a character, I just feel like it wasn't fair to the character of Kang. I know that's a weird thing to say, but like
That makes sense.
When you do so much buildup and having like a show dedicated, like Loki is like a show about Loki and whatever, but you can arguably say like it's a Kang show
story.
Well.
Yeah,
it's a Kang story. Ant-Man 3, they basically use Ant-Man 3 as a setup movie for Kang.
Loki season 1 is a setup for it, and so is Ant.
Yeah, and
I'd argue that most of the setup for Kang was. Like, I don't think Kang was a bad character in MC. Like he wasn't. Ant-Man 3 wasn't good, but it wasn't because of him. It was because the movie was just bad. He was cool in it. He was cool in Loki season 1. He was cool in Loki season 2. Like Kang was handled for the most part. And I get the Majors thing is really the big thing. Like that was, you had people like this is the word around Hollywood was like people's agents were telling them not to take the part. Like they tried to recast Kang, and people's actors like, nah, bro, like it's not right now. Like don't take that. It's not good for the PR right now. And they panicked and they wanted to get. And then RDJ came, and it was like, I get it. I just wish they didn't do it like that. I just wish that they didn't, because it's desperate. We all know it's desperate.
Mm-hmm.
It might work, but it doesn't make it not desperate. Like it might work out fine.
Desperate. By the way, I'm tired of people, fucking MCU fans on Twitter pretending like it's not desperate. It is desperate. Like I saw somebody the other day say, "Oh, they casted RDJ for a reason." Who the fuck they didn't, bro? No, they didn't.
Yeah, they did. It's called making money. That's why they did it. That's the reason.
Yeah, that's why they cast it. Like,
please see our movie. Look who's in it.
It makes great business sense. I'll give them that. It's gonna put butts in seats because people that don't give a shit about the MCU are talking about it. Like my parents called me and asked me like 2 days after the San Diego Comic-Con happened. They were like, "So, what about like what the hell happened? What the hell happened with this RDJ? Like, what is going? He's playing Doom?" I was like, "Yeah." Like it's doing what it's supposed to do. But listen, okay, another thing. The whole like Russo's being bad filmmakers and how that's gonna listen. I think Marvel is not gonna let them mess this movie up. Like they're not gonna let's be real. I tried to give the Russos as much credit as possible when those movies came out, but everything they've done since then has kind of proven that they were carried by Marvel and Feige, like pretty hard.
Feige directs those movies.
I'm not saying that like people who make bad movies can't direct good ones too. Like it does happen, but like their track record has been like nothing but L's ever since Endgame. There's not been a single thing that they directed that's been. They produce some good stuff. They know how to produce, but
no. Somebody brought up. You know that thing with him and Scorsese where he was like, he responded to like Scorsese's like, I don't know how this happened, but he was like, he had like this dog and he was like, yeah, that's cool. His name's Oscar. And he's like, this one's Box. I was like, oh God. Like, and people brought that up. It's like, yeah, why did you do that, bro? Like,
no, it's the Russos are washed. Maybe Marvel can get them their mojo back. I don't. It's just weird to say that the Marvel is less washed than the Russos are, which is weird to say that, but it's true. Like the Russos have not made a good movie in dead ass 6 years. It's crazy. Marvel's at least done 2 or 3. Like it's like I don't know.
Hey, they like their gray filmmaking cinematography. They made a movie called The Gray Man. So
it was very gray and boring.
It was very gray.
That's true. This movie is. I'm not worried.
Electric State. Say that.
I would be surprised if this movie is good. I really don't think it's gonna be good.
I think at worst it'll be fine. I don't see Marvel putting out a bad Avengers movie. Like, I don't.
You think at worst it's gonna be fine?
Marvel they've never messed up a big movie like an Avengers movie. They never messed that up. Like they messed up. Yeah, they messed up the solo stuff.
But they also had great build up to those movies. They've had terrible build up with a okay roster and just a bunch of people you're bringing back.
Here's the
Yeah,
thing
but
that
I just don't.
that they
I
messed
don't
up.
see. I don't see Marvel like if the movie is shit while they're making it, they'll do what they did with Daredevil and just fire everybody and like we'll restart. I just don't see them letting a bad Doomsday movie come. I don't see them letting that happen.
This
Like,
is
they'll
the
delay the shit
problem.
before they.
I do
All
agree
right.
with Darius on that. I don't think at worst I think it'll be fine. This is the problem
Which is
that
still
I have.
bad. Don't get me wrong. A fine
Yeah, a
movie
fine
from
Avengers
Disney
movie is still bad.
It's still bad. Like that's what Age of Ultron is or was, and then we was like, like this is. It's kind of like I'm not saying that would be acceptable, but I just don't see it being like unwatchable dog shit like Quantumania.
This is the
Well,
problem that
I
I
don't
have
see
with this movie
Ah,
and what they did. They have to do so much. They have to build up Doom as a villain in his own because I mean they're probably gonna make it like Thanos in Infinity War, but the thing with that is Thanos had build up leading up to Infinity War. They have to build up Doom. They have to build up the new Avengers team, and then they have to do the overall plot, and then they build up to Secret Wars. Like they have to do that all in one movie. I think that what
It's gonna be a shit show. I'm like,
I think what Marvel should have. I think we can all agree, Marvel should have made a new Avengers movie, establishing a team in that movie, and then have an Avengers
at
movie
least
leading
one.
up to Secret Wars. That's what they should have done. And like all this stuff that the Russos are saying in their interviews, where they're like, "Yeah, we had a plan. Like there was a plan." It's like bullshit. Like I'm sorry, bullshit. Like I can't. Like I
believe
can't.
that they had a plan because they talked about wanting to write Secret Wars like 6 years ago. They probably had a plan, but Marvel sure as hell didn't. Like they probably like some of their ideas that they had years ago, but Marvel didn't have. Marvel was not building up to this. I don't hear anyone. Marvel was building up to Kang and maybe Beyonder. Like that's what they're building up to, not this.
I think at best it'll be like Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah,
which is fun, but there's no plot to that movie. Like
I think Doomsday and Secret Wars at work, like they'll just be again.
It'll be Multiverse of Madness where they just it was good. It was all right.
And that's it. That is shit.
I don't think Multiverse of Madness is shit. I think it's fine. I think it's whatever.
I don't think it's shit. I just think it's a Wanda movie more than a Doctor Strange movie.
I just don't see Marvel like if they're not willing to put out a bad Daredevil show, they're not gonna put out a bad Avengers movie. That's my whole point. Like, if they watch it, they see it, and it's shit. I think they're gonna be like, yeah, this shit's delayed. We're gonna do this shit again. Like I just don't see them putting it out.
I think they should delay it.
You know the characters, you know the buildup, which was the show. You can change that. The Avengers, they don't have any buildup. They don't have a team. They don't have really anything riding into this. They don't have a choice for it to be good, really. Because they didn't build it up well.
You're saying there's no possible way it could be good.
No, I'm not saying there's no possible way. I'm saying it's looking like it's going to be shit. I'd be very surprised if it's good because there is absolutely zero buildup and zero care. People don't care about the young. This movie's already overcrowded. You got the Young Avengers, you got the Fantastic Four, you got Doctor Doom, you got whoever the new Avengers team is, who we don't even know who's on that team, and you got Chris Evans coming back too. Like, does that sound good? Like, I'd be surprised if we can make that work.
I'll say, yeah, that is a good point. How Chris Evans coming back, because what it seems like this movie is doing, I don't think it's going to take place on the main in like Earth. Like something's going to happen in like Fantastic Four or something where either everybody comes like the main Earth and like. Well, first of all, I want to know how they're going to introduce Doom. Like, I think he's going to be in Fantastic Four. That's obvious.
Is he even from the Earth? Do we even know that?
That's another thing. Like, so they have to like answer that. Fantastic Four will give us a good roadmap of how they're going to do that. But it's just if I'm just judging off right now, nothing. Everything that I hear has me worried. Like that's just my opinion. Like I'm
neutral on it because I don't think we don't know jack shit about anything. Like
Exactly.
We know jack shit.
no, it's like yeah.
No, I mean we don't know anything about the story. Like we don't know anything. We just know that RDJ is Doom and that some people are gonna be in it. Which like no shit, it's an Avengers movie. Everyone's in the Avengers movies. Like yeah, everyone's in that shit.
I think Secret Wars could be good. I think Doomsday is like gonna be a vomit of everything they have to clean up. Like you got the freaking White Vision in there with Star-Lord. It's like you got the Young Avengers are setting up in that movie. You know they're not setting that up before. Like where's that going to be?
I don't think the Young Avengers are going to be in this movie.
I think that concept art shit is just I don't think all that's just going to be in the movie.
Yeah, that's not going to be in there.
Well,
that shit's never all in the movie.
Concept art. There's a lot of stuff that's like never makes it.
They just do random shit. There's like the No Way Home concept art is fucking crazy. That shit just
there's a lot of shit that didn't make it in the movie.
No, but like I think the only way that the new Avengers, my biggest problem is not the Doom build up. They can do the Doom build up like that because yeah, Thanos was built up before Infinity War, but like he didn't do like the idea of him was built up. But he wasn't a character. Like he wasn't a character with motivation
for sure.
Until Infinity War. I'm not worried about the Doom stuff. They can do that.
But he also Thanos was the reason that the first Avengers movie happened.
Yes, I agree with that. I'm saying like as a character, his motive, like he was just like in the background. We knew he was there.
But he was the cause. He was the cause of like 75% of everything leading up to Infinity War, though.
Yeah,
the problem with the Doom and Kang stuff is just the fact that like Doom as a character and what he is as a comics. Yes, that's just a fan to me. I'm gonna bring in the comic stuff. Like as a character, I feel like he deserves like the build up. Like just going from
he deserves way more than that. He deserves
but I just don't like the reasoning why like he's being.
Oh, I agree. I'm looking at it from a story perspective. I'm saying in a 2.5 hour movie, it is more than doable to have Doom's back. Like you can do that. You can do that. But I'm worried about the Avengers team. That's more of the concern to me. Is like the fact that there's been no team for like 3 phases now, and we don't know who the fuck Sam's going to contact. I mean, we have him and Falcon, and like whoever the hell Wong knows, like Captain Marvel.
Yeah, like who cares about them? Like they can't carry a movie as a team.
I think that the only way
here comes Spider-Man.
Spider-Man and Strange are carrying. That's what's gonna happen.
Oh yeah.
I feel like the only way that they can have that work from a story perspective is like the whole point is that there is no Avengers team. Is that's to be the point of the story. Like you have to have the story be about, hey, we're kind of fucked. Like there's no team right now. Like you have to have that be the point of. You can't just have the team be formed off screen. Like yeah, you've been kicking ass for 6 months now, and yeah, Doomsday. Like that's what I don't want them to do. Don't do it off screen thing. Like yeah. We've had these fights before off screen, and we all know each other now, and shit. Like that's lazy. Just have the whole movie be about them trying to form this new team because they have to, because Doom's here now. Where the fuck's going on with that? That's what I would have the movie be. Basically, be a mirror, not of Infinity War, but of the first Avengers, where it's about them coming together, but it's in a bigger scale.
You know what I want them to do? I want to really hammer home that idea. Have Spider-Man in Secret Wars be like the primary survivor of what happens in Doomsday. In Secret Wars, they do this where he gets like everybody that's still alive, and he like forms his own Avengers team. That's what I think they should do. That.
Yes, because I would have them lose in Doomsday because they don't fucking know each other. They have they've never worked together before. Like that's why they lose, because they're not a team. Like they're just a bunch of guys. They're a bunch of people. Like we have to work together, and they lose because unlike the Avengers, who had years and years and years of working together, and they had the chemistry. These guys don't have that. Like Spidey and Strange know each other. No one else really does. Like that's why build that into the story so you can work with it. Like don't just have
Jimmy Woo's gonna form into Avengers.
And they should just take out Avengers and just call it Doomsday, because like
well, they can't do that for brand reasons. But yeah,
I know. I know it's a money thing. But
Jimmy Woo's gonna form the new Avengers.
Even when you form the new Avengers, who we working with? We have nobody interesting besides Spider-Man and Doctor Strange, who I think work better outside of the Avengers. Like, it's gonna be cameo after cameo, Doom backstory.
I think what it is, they're gonna do the whole thing with Infinity War. They're gonna have different groups. They're gonna do that. Like Spider-Man will probably be with the Fantastic Four. Strange will probably be, I don't know, with
Magic people, Wong,
yeah, Wong,
Clea, like all those people.
Star-Lord will be, I don't know.
Where the hell are they gonna Star-Lord at if he's in this? Where the hell is he at? That's
yeah, he'll be in it, but
They're
they're gonna do the groups thing like they did in Infinity War.
You kind of have to because you can't have 20 people.
Yeah,
in the same place.
Yeah, I agree.
It's just like also for filming reasons, like how the hell is scheduling gonna work? That's why I think this thing might get delayed because
they should.
All these actors are in a lot of other shit, and especially like Florence, Tom is booked. Like I'm sure RDJ is the only one that's like not doing anything because he's doing this.
That's why he signed on.
Like Tom's barely gonna be in this, I bet.
So he's got Odyssey. He's filming that right now. Apparently, he's barely gonna like film for Doomsday. He's
gonna have the mask
after the Odyssey films. He goes to film Spider-Man 4. So yeah.
He's not gonna be in it that much.
I mean, he doesn't have to be on set. They can just dub it. You can just record his lines. He's wearing the mask the whole movie.
Yeah, he'll be wearing.
You don't know who the fuck Peter Parker is.
It just sounds like a mess, and I'd be surprised if they can clean it up in a nice way. I don't think they didn't have a plan, and if they do have a plan now, it was last minute and a lot of cleaning up. Like,
I mean, we all agree they should have stuck with Kang. Like they should have they should have waited it out. Somebody would have taken it eventually. Coleman Domingo wanted to do it, which that would have been fucking amazing. But
that would have been sick.
Ooh, I don't know.
Ooh, that would have been.
Yeah, I think even if this movie is good, it's still not what I wanted them to do. Like, I still would be like, that was cool, but like, it still feels like a weird conclusion to the saga. But
we'll have to see.
Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four. I am looking forward to those.
Oh yeah,
Thunderbolts. I hope is good.
Looks good.
Looks good.
Fantastic Four will be good, Noah. Come on.
I can't. I have to see. I'll have to see.
Just messing.
I
like what I've seen.
Yeah, I will not be watching the Electric State. I will not be watching that. Not after we watched Amelia Perez. I was like, I'm not watching another shit movie on purpose for the rest of the year because if they surprise me, and like a movie thing is gonna be good as bad. I mean, what am I gonna do about that? But I'm not gonna watch a bad movie. I can't do that. That movie broke me. Amelia Perez broke me, bro.
Millie Bobby Brown can't act either.
Really?
No, she can't. And Stranger Things, she can, but anything else I've seen her in, she can't.
She doesn't even do much in Stranger Things.
I think the thing with her is this is my problem. When you're an actor and you don't care about,
she doesn't like movies.
She doesn't like movies. Like, that's just weird to me. That's off-putting. I'll be real.
She likes the paycheck.
I mean, fine, get your bag. I'm not gonna knock the hustle, but
well, there's a reason why she's only in Netflix movies. Nobody else wants her.
Yeah, probably.
That's the reason why the Russos are directing Netflix movies.
Yep.
There's no studio wants to get.
Well, not no studio.
Well, yeah,
one studio.
Ted will give anybody anything. So
that's the thing with me. I was talking to my friends about this. Listen, I hate Netflix, but that is the easiest bag I will ever get. Like, I would work for them. They'll throw anybody a bag. I will take it. Shit.
Yeah.
Turn out half a dozen terrible movies and make a shit ton of money. Sounds good to me.
Yeah. I guess that is it. That concludes episode 7.
7.
Yeah, almost at 10.
He's 7.
Yeah, that was a good episode.
That was the first one.
Next week this week we'll cover the Invincible season 3 finale and any other news that happens this week. I'm sure there'll be something that
will break. Something always does.
Yeah, something will break. Hopefully, some Batman Part 2 stuff and some Spider-Man 4 stuff and other big film stuff. Maybe some Scorsese new movie. I don't know.
Something random is going to happen. I guarantee it.
Maybe Tarantino updates us on his 10th and final
that
movie. Says,
see you in 2030.
Yeah, 2030. Come on, Tarantino. Come on, do it.
Kill Bill Volume 3. No, I'm playing.
Nah.
I'm playing.
Vivica A. Fox wants that to happen with Zendaya.
But people actually want that, though. I've seen that on film Twitter. They want it.
I want my Booth.
They want Zendaya. They want Zendaya in Kill Bill 3.
I want my Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt, Cliff Booth thing.
I did like that idea. I like that idea. I don't know why.
I wanted him to make that movie. It would have been good.
Yeah.
I think I know what he wants. He wants to have a way to have violence. The thing he wants how he writes.
How many ways can he say the N-word? That's what he wants. Yeah. How many times can he say it in the script?
Yeah,
how many feet shots can he get in the movie?
Oh God. I can see him having Mikey Madison in his next movie.
She's a very Tarantino type actress. She would do it.
She was great.
It would be great if he has Austin Butler or
Mikey just Madison. Reuse the young cast from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. The leads now.
You introduced
his final movie. I'm very interested in what the final cast of a Tarantino movie is going to be.
I think he had to bring back. Yeah,
bring back.
He said he would do TV after, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
A Tarantino show would be interesting. That'd be cool. It'd be crazy.
Limited series. But yeah.
That concludes episode 7. We will see you guys next time. Peace out.
Like and subscribe.
Great.